Oh, I mean, the terrain really. The conditions we get throughout the winter, we get 10, 12 feet of snow, it just depends. In the summer we get the 40-degree weather, 30-degree. We have all the terrain to ride dirt bikes, everything else right around here, so it's pretty special.
You're from BC, but every year now you get hooked up with these guys from Ontario. How did that happen? Did we just meet up on a chance ride one day, and now you're part of the clan?
Yeah, no, it's worked out real well. I met Phil, Kael from Promotional and the Trick Toys guys a few years back, and I've just kept coming back. It's worked out well. I've been invited back every year, and there's no reason for me not to come back. Yeah, like you said, I'm part of the group now, so. It'd just be odd not being here every year.
This is our 5th year coming out to Revelstoke, and does it ever get old? It's different every year. Obviously snow conditions are different, and learn something new about riding every time we come out here. Every time is enjoyable. It's always something new. It's always a new adventure. We stay out of trouble, but everybody gets gets stuck or try something different, and so there's a lot of good memories that we've had out here, and get to share it with my friends, and we made some new friends out here as well, so it's pretty cool coming.
Your first time at Revelstoke, it was all new, and you're almost like a guide now. You know your way around. You're the tail gunner.
I don't know if I would say I know my way around. I recognize things on the mountain, and I've been to places before and I remember, but I don't think I would go so far as to say I'm anything close to being guide-worthy, but I can help people out, and I can get to places, and I do my best, and it's fun.
Well, my first experience was very shocking. Lots of snow compared to Ontario, obviously. Now I've sort of picked up on the riding. I can side hill, I can carve properly a little better than I could when I first started, and it's more enjoyable when you know what you're doing, but it takes that a couple times coming out here to figure it all out. But no matter whether you're a pro or you're just a beginner, it's so enjoyable for everybody. On a nice beautiful day right after it's done snowing, it's such deep powder, and there's so much that if you stop you have to crawl out, and but it's very smooth, very nice, and there are groomed trails at the hill, but when you get into the backcountry and in between the trees, it gets pretty dicey, and lots of deep snow, and it's a lot of fun.
Never gets old. The only thing that seems to get older is me. Every year you get a bit older, and your muscles are a little sore, but you keep coming back. This year we had a guy in our group. He was over 60 years old, first time riding in the mountains. Loved it, did really well. It's not even the first time, it's every time we come here. I still am a little intimidated every time we go out, but once you do it, and once you either climb that big hill or drop down that big hill, you get a good sense of accomplishment for yourself, and you feel good about it. One of the more enjoyable things is being here with all your friends, hanging out. You're sitting and having your lunch on the side of a mountain with big valleys and epic scenery behind you. Like, you can't beat that. And you're here with your buddies, and the snow and the shenanigans that go on. But as for the terrain part, I tend to like the more open fields where you can play and kind of carve. Yesterday we went to an area where there was more trees, and that was a little more intimidating, but once we started riding, I started getting the hang of it, and I only got stuck once. It's as exciting as the last year. My skill level is getting better each year, hopefully. But no, it's great. I mean, back home there's hardly any snow. It's totally different riding. Here the machines are different, the trails are different, the terrain's different than back in Ontario. So it's night and day difference between the two.
End of the day, you're low.
Well, it was kind of an idea with us group guys that come out snowmobiling every year, and we're trying to figure a way that we could get better footage of while we're riding a snowmobile. The previous year we developed a bumper hitch that went on the back of the sled so that we could tow toboggans, and the clamping mechanism was very conducive to allowing us to mount a pole, so we can mount a camera up off the front of the sled so that we could get a better vantage point to view the rider and the terrain and the background that they're riding through.
Your clamping system is much easier, much sturdier.
Yeah, it stays on, it won't come off. We put it through some pretty good tests today. We bent a few poles, rolling sleds over, and seeing what we can put them through and how durable they are, and working through the R&D and the testing stages of things and see what we can improve on them.
Now, I've tried other systems where you got to get in there and clamp and they spin around and stuff. Why does yours stay so snug on the bumper?
Well, we have like I said, the clamp was designed for towing on the rear bumper, so it's like probably 3 times stronger than it would actually need to be to hold the light camera. And the mechanism that we use to lock the arm in place on the side is kind of like a face gear. It can't really slip or move unless you release it. It's pretty much a positive locking system that has no slip built into it. It can't slip. It's impossible for it to slip.
You've got a second mount point on it, and it also extends?
Yep, it extends up. We're talking with the guys, see if we can improve, maybe get a longer pole so we can get an even higher vantage point. But yeah, it does extend, and it also can come back down. It can flip around, it can mount out sideways. It's fairly ambidextrous. It can be mounted in several different positions. The gear mechanism that we use to locate the arm does have the ability to be moved in increments of about 20 degrees. So, every 20-degree increment, out to the side, up, back, in a lot of different locations. You can basically set it up pretty much any angle you want for any view you want from the front of the sled.
It's amazing. Well, obviously there's no snow over in Wales, but I came here to chase my dreams of being a snowmobile guide and snowmobiling all the time as much as possible, as much as I can. And it's amazing, it's unreal. Riding with you guys is pretty fun, going to some pretty good zones, finding some deep snow, and it's pretty exhilarating for you guys as well. From Ontario, most of them are from Ontario, so they're flat trails, not many hills, learning lots of new skills. It's awesome. It's the best job ever. It's awesome.
We always have a great stay here at Glacier House Resort, but today we're also going to go into the town to see what Revelstoke, British Columbia has to offer.
Snowmobiling definitely put us on the map, but we've got some great other products like our skiing up at Revelstoke Mountain Resort, Nordic skiing at Mount McPherson, snowshoeing. Really, the opportunities are endless here in the winter. What does the town have to offer? Oh man, what doesn't the town have to offer? We have great restaurants, great nightlife. It's a beautiful downtown location. It's not overly built up, but you do get that charm of a mountain town, definitely. So there's Calgary Airport and Kelowna International Airport. Calgary's about a 4.5-hour drive coming through the Rocky Mountains and Rogers Pass. Kelowna International Airport's about a 2.5-hour drive. You're coming through the Okanagan, and we're seeing a lot more traffic through both of those airports. There's a lot of venues that offer après ski, so a special deal on drinks or food between the hours of around 4 and 7. Then later on, there's a ton of different dining options. We've got Indian, ranging from Japanese to great slider pubs and ski pubs around town as well.
Pretty unbelievable. I came here from a small place, Windsor, Ontario, so to come out here to meet people that literally come to Revelstoke from all over the world is a pretty unique thing. Yeah, anywhere from Europe to Japan to all over the place. It's and people are coming here to do kind of anything outdoors, sledding, skiing, just to check the town out. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. The one thing that really intrigued me was the the lifestyle change. A lot healthier out here, a lot more things to do in regards to being outdoors, and just the community and the town itself is pretty amazing. Most of the places in town is owner operated, so it's a pretty cool community in regards to that, where you have friends that own businesses all throughout town, and everybody's here kind of with the same mindset, the same likeness of people, just to be in town, to survive in town for one, and to see the town prosper and strive, and hope that it's going to continue growing, which it has. I've been here for 7 years, and from year one to year now, it's definitely growing quite a bit, and the future looks good for Revelstoke. Yeah.
Skiing is a relatively new thing for the town of Revelstoke in a modern way, but it's a very old thing overall. Revelstoke boasts the longest running ski club in existence in North America. They've been around for over 100 years. So skiing is a huge part of our heritage, but the resort behind me has only been around as the way it is now for only 9 years. We're very lucky because some of the best skiing to be found anywhere in the world is right here in Revelstoke. Although it's a very new ski resort, the terrain here is very unique. We have lots and lots of vertical. That's really our calling card. We have the most vertical in North America. If you were to drop a balloon, a helium-filled balloon at the bottom of the gondola and let it rise, it would go over a mile vertically, over 1.7 kilometers to be in fact, before it reached the top of our lift. And so that descent equals the longest vertical in all of North America. Snow is the primary motivator for sledders and skiers alike. And that's what makes Revelstoke the epicenter of both in many ways. I mean, it's been no secret for years, this is where the sledders have flocked to because Revelstoke gets so much snow annually, and skiers are finally cluing in. And that translates also to the world of heli skiing. Heli skiing was born just 100 kilometers away from here as the crow flies, and in the town of Revelstoke there's 5 heli ski companies, including our very own Selkirk Tangiers Heli Ski. The ski resort itself is located within city limits, and we consider that the town of Revelstoke is an extension of our village. And you get the sledders converging in there with the skiers and all these big winter mountain sport enthusiasts all coming in one spot. And the town has really embraced that. So you find an amazing vibe, some world-class restaurants, plenty of things to do to really make your whole experience one that's absolutely incredible.
There's just a lot to offer. I loved Ontario. Ontario is beautiful. It's got so much there, but out here you have the elevation, you've got amazing roads, you've got amazing snow, you've got rock climbing, you've got canoeing, you've got whitewater kayaking, you've got absolutely everything that you could ask for in terms of adventure sports. We're now doing snow bike tours and, well, not tours, I guess guiding, and rentals as well, which is really exciting.
You've met Brian and Rob from Trick Toys before. They make great accessories, they make a great camera mount, and Rob, well, he also knows how to ride a timber sled as well.
Yeah, I was riding a KTM snow bike. I was a little afraid to ride it at first, but it was awesome fun. It was wicked. You don't really have to worry about getting stuck. You just point it between little gaps and paths that you wouldn't even dream about taking on a snowmobile, and the bike will just take you there. You just point it, crank the handle, and it just goes. It was shocking how easy it was. You get a little nervous at first, but then when you realize it can actually do it, you're like, this is awesome. It almost makes you feel like you're like a pro rider instantly. It's very gratifying, to say the least. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a little different. Took a little getting used to, but the learning curve was really quick. I was shocked at how easy it was. You don't have the gyroscopic effect of the wheels, but once you can compensate for that when you're turning and keeping your balance, it was it was really easy. It's a different sensation, but it's a lot of fun. It's the same kind of transmission and clutch setup as you'd have on your standard dirt bike. Generally, you do switch gears. The only time you really switch gears is if you're coming downhill, you want to downshift just so that you're not going too fast. And then when you want to go up the hill, you find a gear that you're solid in, like second or third, depending on how steep the climb you want to do, and you just leave it in gear and just let it rip. Just pull the throttle and just climb, and keep climbing, and just shoot the trees and have some fun. It's one of those things that, if you're into biking, you have to try it, at least once. And if you like bikes, there's no reason why you wouldn't like to ride a snow bike. It's a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
I think Revelstoke is it's growing hugely, especially because of skiing, but it's still quite small in a community sense. And so that's what's nice kind of working here and still being a big part of the community. But seeing it grow and seeing these kind of sports grow specifically in our town is really neat to see.